Who pays on a first date?
Who pays?
Who pays on the first date?
Whoever I did was to go on the date.
Don't limit yourself. Go out and pursue your dreams. Even if you know nothing about what you're going to do, go out and do that. Every time you have a self-doubt, just remember that every single successful company goes through a near-death experience before they go out and become successful. It is the mindset. So people talk about people are optimistic or pessimistic. So they look at whether the glass is half empty or half full. To me, that's really the wrong question to ask. The only thing you as an entrepreneur to think about is, do I want to fill this glass? And the next question you ask is, what do I want to fill it with? It doesn't matter what it looks like. Your job is to imagine and dream about what you want it to be.
Can anybody have 10 or 15 or 20 times our IQ at 100? No. Well, then why do people every day achieve 10 or 20 or 50,000 times more than we? If they can't have an IQ 10 or 20 or 30 times more than ours. Because they dream bigger than we.
You can't tell God how to bless you. See, you can't tell him what you want and then tell him how to do it. Because it ain't gonna ever be the way you want it to. Because if where you at today, if God had showed you what you would have to go through to get to where you are today, you would turn back. You would go, oh, no. I don't want that part. I don't want to do that. I don't want that part. You would have missed who you are today. Because in order to get to who you are, you had to go through every single thing you went through. You wouldn't even know what you know. You hear old people say all the time, you can't have a testimony without a test.
I know personally that your generosity extends past what you have given on the stage and screen. Many of you already know the story that Mr. Washington, when asked by Felicia Rashad to join her in assisting 9 theater students from Howard University who had been accepted to a summer acting program at the British Academy of Dramatic Acting in Oxford. He gracefully and privately agreed to contribute. As fate would have it, I was one of the students that he paid for.
Stop telling yourself every fucking year, over and over and over again, this is going to be the year. 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 The reason it's never the year is because you don't ever focus on the right things to develop. You go at it like it's a game, like you're rolling the dice, like this might be the year that things happen. Nobody that achieves great things in this fucking life, in this world, in this universe, goes at it with that mentality. You may think they do, but they don't. Fresh start ain't the problem. Rest ain't the problem either. Oh, I'm tired. Motherfucker, you've been resting your whole life.
Person picks this book up. What are you wanting them to get from this?
I want them to understand that you are the architect of tomorrow. I based it on the Wright brothers, who had the audacity to believe that they could build something that would take them from the ground to the air. And so they built this without a degree, without having financiers.
Oh, you don't need an education to make it? Oh, yeah. You know that you can't think of something that can't happen? You know it's impossible to think of the impossible. It's not possible. So if you think it, it's possible. And if you live your life in possibilities instead of probabilities, you have a greater chance of finding happiness. Seriously, never live your life in probability. Probability is the probability of something happening. There's a statistic attached to a probability. 1 in every 3,000 people do this. That's a probability. A possibility has no stats attached to it. Live your life in possibilities and you'll change it. Just change the way you think.